everyone, my name is Fatima and welcome back to the Race Edit, and if you're new here, welcome to the Race Edit and welcome to a new video. Now, I know that I said in my little community post that I was not going to be uploading a video this week. Well, you know what? I lied. I have the urge to record and speak to you guys, so here I am while I'm still working on the 2 videos for next week. But hey, what can you do when you get the itch to record? You have to record, or what, right? Today's video is going to be all about the current hot topics in Formula One, a yap session, very unserious. I say very unserious, I mean it. Like, please don't take anything to heart. I don't want to be jumped. I'm just having a good time. We're just chatting away. Now, if you've been in the F1 space for the past few weeks, which you probably have if you're watching this video, or if you've just been in the F1 space in general, there's been a lot of conversation about McLaren, especially after the last race in Monza. This one is where we got the infamous Papaya rules. Now, when we talk about Papaya rules, it's just, what? Please be so for real. They really said Papaya rules and they thought they ate that. Listen, I like me some McLaren, but Papaya rules, let's keep that back. Take it back. We don't need it. We don't want it. Take it back. Papaya rules is no more. Just stop. But Papaya rules, essentially, from what I think everyone's gathering, is clean racing. The drivers are allowed to race. And that's kind of McLaren's shtick. You know, they don't have a 1-2. And that's where the conversation begins, because there is a championship title fight going on right now. And in the team, Lando Norris is currently behind Max Verstappen in the title fight. And as Red Bull is nowhere, which we will get to, McLaren could have a chance at clinching both the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. But there's a lot of discussion about how Oscar Piastri raced in Monza. Now, unpopular opinion? I don't think it's an unpopular opinion, high key, but the conversation, is he not a racing driver? And I'm saying this like with all my heart. Like, is Oscar Piastri not a racing driver? If he has the chance to take the lead, why shouldn't he? You can give me the whole Lando's leading, he ruined Lando's chances at a race win, he ruined Lando's chances at maybe potentially clinching the more points ahead of Max, etc., etc. But if McLaren didn't give any explicit orders to not race each other, let the guy race. What is this? I don't understand that logic. I don't understand. And whichever way people throw it at me, I'm just like, it doesn't, like, we're watching racing here. I feel like it's like a double-edged sword when it comes to team orders. When you give team orders, people are like, no, this is Formula One, this is racing. And then when you don't give team orders, apparently people are also like, how dare you? He has to make sure that his teammate wins. If I have a chance at winning, I'm gonna win. Now, did Oscar win? No. But I think he actually proved himself this race. Like, we knew he has what it takes, but like, I think he actually proved himself in Monza. And if we're going to be honest, a lot of the onus on why McLaren isn't leading the championship is on McLaren. And now, I don't need Lando fans jumping me, but his starts. Lando knows, we know, they know, everyone knows his starts is what gets him. I don't want to be another pylon on the Lando Norris pylon train. Am I a Lando Norris fan? No. But I don't think you have to be a Lando Norris hater or a Lando Norris fan to be able to critique him. I think you can just be a watcher of Formula One, and you can all admit, and Lando Norris could be the first person to say this, that he keeps bottling his starts. If it wasn't Oscar, I'm sure, I mean, Charles was right there, let's be honest. But I think it's safe to say that the onus does really fall on McLaren for their strategy, which they just, I don't know what's going on with that. And to Lando Norris, if you are a championship contender, yeah, I just feel like we need a bit more. Talk about Oscar Piastri's first race win in Hungary. Controversial as it may be, I feel like when we're talking about Lando Norris being hungry, in my humble opinion was, if he wanted that race win, Lando Norris, he would have, when McLaren first instructed him to give the spot back, even though we know that was a McLaren fumble, no doubt about it, that was a McLaren fumble through and through. But had he just given the spot back to Oscar right away, he had the race pace and the tires to overtake him and be on Oscar's neck and say, I need to be in the lead. But no, he took way too long to come to a decision. I don't know if it's self-doubt or he's just been in a position in Formula One for so long that, you know, where he hasn't had a race winning car, and now that he's there, it's like, oh, it's a lot of pressure when you're in a title contention. It's a lot of pressure, and we see that on him. But something's gotta give. I do genuinely believe that Oscar has what it takes to be a world champion. I believe it, and if Lando doesn't seize the moment now, Oscar's gonna seize that moment. And I saw a comment somewhere where someone was like, Lando put in the groundwork, he's been at McLaren and helped build them up, he deserves this, and Oscar just came in and he just has a nice fast car. I mean, and like, that's all I have to say about that. What is this? Okay, so he's been at a team for X amount of years, so therefore he has to be the one who wins. No team is going to be like, oh no, because you've been here for so long, you deserve that first win. You deserve the first championship. That's not how it works. In an ideal world, it would, but that's just not how it works. So that was a mind-blowing comment that I saw. And what I'm trying to say is, these are racing drivers through and through. And if you're hungry enough for it, you're not gonna be nice. Doesn't matter if they're your teammates. Yeah, you can be the team player when the team asks you to be the team player. But at this moment, he's not being asked. So I feel like people just need to take a deep breath and unclench, let it out, just breathe. Oscar Piastri is not the villain that you guys are painting him out to be or want him to be. He is a racing driver, and any other driver who has that opportunity to race against each other is going to take it. And if they say they won't, that's not true. I don't believe that for a second. I actually do not believe that for a second. And that's all I have to say on the McLaren squabble for this hot topic. Next hot topic, Red Bull. Now listen up. In a previous video, I was like, maybe P6 is where that RB20 is meant to be and Max is just making the difference. Now when I said that, I was like, ooh, don't shake the table, Fatima, don't shake the table. But honestly, I think I'm right. I think P6 is where that RB20 is, and we're seeing it. I mean, Checo alluded to it, but hey, right? I do think even with as bad or as hard as that RB20 is to drive, and even with Max Verstappen saying that he doesn't foresee them winning any more races, I think with the way McLaren is running things, with the way their championship leader is not taking advantage of his pole positions and his starts, and with the way other teams are winning races as well, I do think Max Verstappen could potentially clinch the Drivers' Championship. I do think McLaren is going to clinch the Constructors, unless Ferrari just edges their way in, because hey, anything can happen in this season. Anything can happen in this season in general. Yeah, but that Red Bull, yeah, honey. Honestly, this is their karma. I'm so sorry. We went through it last season. When you look at the stats of last season, literally when it's like put out to you in face and you're just seeing Verstappen, and a Checo sprinkled in there somewhere, Verstappen, and then just Carlos Sainz as race winners. Do you know how insane that is? That's why everyone is so excited about this season, and that's why there's so much discourse about this season, because what we went through last year was actual pain as racing fans. It was crazy to see a team dominate so hard. It was, and I cannot lie, like, I'll give them that, but I mean, I'm not gonna say the car was illegal, but the way things are looking, I'm just saying. But yeah, that Red Bull, it got you know, I'm still in the belief that anyone can win this championship right now. I actually am. Like, it could be Lando, it could be Oscar, it could be Max, it could even be Charles. And as a Hamilton fan, it would be remiss of me not to say it could be Hamilton. I'm just saying. But yeah, that Red Bull, I said this way early on in one of my first videos for this season, actually, that I said it and I was like, Red Bull's going to win majority of the races, but they're not going to win all. And look at that. They're not even winning majority of the races. Those early wins for Max really set him up. They really set him up, and while other teams are still figuring it out, it's what's giving him the upper edge. But come the end of the season, come Abu Dhabi, it's going to be tight. It is going to be tight unless McLaren gets their act together strategy-wise and driver-wise, if they can figure it out. But I think someone said I wish I could remember which podcast it might even be Quick Stop, actually. Paris is saying how they have 1 to 2 more races to, and then if Lando still has the edge, and if Lando is still the one who is the number one, even though they don't have a number one, then they need to start implementing team orders, which sucks because it's racing and we love to watch racing. But I understand from a team perspective and from a championships perspective why you would need to implement those team orders, especially when it comes to the constructors. Because Ferrari, with these upgrades, like I said, they're going to be good. And so far, so good. And they're strong. In the next couple of races, they're pretty strong. Baku's coming up. And, you know, so I'll leave that as it is. I want to talk about Adrian Newey to Aston Martin, apparently. You know, as a Hamilton fan, with Lewis Hamilton going over to Ferrari next year, and with the news of Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull, and the rumors of him going to Ferrari, I was very excited. For about like, maybe 1 to 2 months. And then I was like, you know what? Honestly, I think I would be okay if Adrian Newey didn't go to Ferrari. And that's not me diminishing his greatness, because he is the GOAT. Through and through, Adrian Newey is the GOAT. But we've seen seasons where even with Red Bull, their car was not the strongest, and there's been other cars, Mercedes per se, who don't have Adrian Newey that you know, dominated. We've seen seasons where Ferrari is so frustrating, but we've seen seasons where Ferrari has had strong contending cars without Adrian Newey. And I think if they can just get it right, they will be okay come 2025 and come 2026. So I think it's settled in me that Newey's not going to Ferrari. I still have this like random like thought that, yeah, he's going to go to Aston Martin, but not for Formula One. You know, I don't know why. I just feel like if he chooses something, he's gonna go there, but he's not gonna do, which would be kind of sick though, high key. It would be cool to see him in a different field. Like that car that he designed, the hypercar. Oh my gosh, I am obsessed with it. I look at that car, the RB, I look at it all the time. I'm obsessed with it. I would love to see him do more of that. I can understand why he wouldn't go to Ferrari, but I also don't understand because it's like he's mentioned how it would be a dream. But you know, sometimes you just want to stay home, so I can't even be mad at it. But yeah, Adrian Newey to Aston Martin would be very interesting. I don't know. My issue with Aston Martin is they want to be in the upper field. They want to be a top team. And, you know, Lance Stroll, you know, I think it's time, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. And this is coming from someone who doesn't like to like speak too much on Lance Stroll, because like I said, I'm always trying to listen. They got rid of Logan Sargent, man. We only got Checo and Lance Stroll for North American representation, so you know. But hey, I think it's time, bud. Let's do something else. You don't. Do you need Formula One, Lance Stroll? Do you? I don't know. I don't think so, high key. But if it's your passion, I guess. I do appreciate the fact that his father is really riding for his son. I do appreciate that. Lawrence Stroll said, I don't care if my son is mid, I will buy him a Formula One team. I will make sure he races and has a job. So hey, what can you do, right? But I think it would be interesting to see, because if Adrian Newey goes to Aston Martin and he produces a wonderful, wonderful car, just because the car is fast doesn't mean the driver is able to win races, as we've been seeing with Lando Norris. I'm just saying. Now, rookies? 2025, Rookie Central, what's going on? I mean, it's actually really nice to see new faces in the sport. I would love to see more teams in the sport. I think like give us 12. We give us 12 teams. I feel like we can make 12 teams work. You know, I just feel like we could make it work, and I feel like if there's an opportunity to do so, we can do it. Like, I don't understand all of the hullabaloo. I don't, and I would love to know more. You're at such a great space in the sport. More teams means more drivers, means more money, means more viewers, which again means more money and just more racing. So I don't really know exactly what's going on with that, but I would love to see more teams. We're having like, next year's gonna be interesting with all the rookies. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good thing that they're starting at the end of these regulations and going into the new regs, because I think that gives them enough time to get their feet wet in the sport. But then when the new regs comes, everyone starts fresh. You know, minus the experience, everyone starts fresh. So I think that's actually kind of sick. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say for today's video. It was kind of all over the place. I didn't write a script down. I was just speaking from my mind. So please, I'm begging you, let's just have a conversation. Let's just have some fun, you know? let's have some good vibes. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for sitting here and watching this video. If you liked it, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day.